Jesse, your host, and coming up now, right now, we have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, any percent by Mango Punch. Take it away, Mango Punch.
Hello everybody, my name is MangoPunch. I'm a Resident Evil 2 and 3 classic speedrunner, and yeah, I'm going to be doing some RE3. But before we begin, we had a donation incentive for the costume select.
We sure did.
Which one did we get?
Coming in number 1 is Regina.
Ooh, nice. Perfect. My favourite, it's the red hair, it makes it go faster, so good choice.
Cool.
Alright, ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Alright, so RE3 begins 2 months after the events of RE1. After the STARS members escaped the Raccoon City mansion incident. They tried to tell everybody, hey, there's zombies and stuff, but nobody believed them. So now, the entire city is overrun with zombies. And Jill has to pretty much escape. So this first bit here, we take a force bite, because there is a way to dodge this guy, but it's incredibly rare. And if you mess it up, it just takes longer, so I just take the bite. And we go straight into pretty much one of the only unskippable cutscenes in the whole game. Right at the start of the game, so that makes resetting kind of annoying. But the rest of them we can skip, thankfully.
September 28th.
So she's just escaped.
Somehow, still alive.
I'm still alive. Yeah, she's holed up in a warehouse for the night, and now it's the next day. And she's got to try and find her way out. So she's going to make her way to the Raccoon Police Department to try and find some help there. Not going to give any spoilers, but she finds help, but help kind of dies. I've got this key to get out. So one thing about this game, there's a lot of time saved to be had in just good menuing, and also a thing called delayed input cancel. I'm really bad at explaining it though, but basically, whenever you have an option that is like the first option that the cursor is on, if you try and just spam your button to select it, there's a bit of a delay before it will actually let you do whatever. But if you like tap left and right really quickly, it actually cancels the delay. So if you bind left and right to a single button, you just hit that button and then it cancels the delay. So it makes item pickups a lot quicker. And that saves about like 30 seconds over the course of a run. So, oh, that's not good. Yeah, so it's kind of an important thing, but really hard to get the timing right. But yeah, so hit an extra button when you want to select the default option. And we didn't have a great basement just there. That is one of the one of the biggest reset points in the game, and it's really early on. So you saw I had to go down the stairs and then come back up and just hope that the zombies were in a good spot where I could get past. But they weren't, so I got bitten a couple of times. But that's alright. And we've just met Brad, who's the helicopter pilot from the first game. He's a bit of a scaredy cat. He's all doom and gloom. He's like, oh my god, there's something after us. We're all going to die. I completely forgot that guy was there. And he's just run off to the police station, so we're going to follow him. That menu, that inventory right there is really weird, because it's kind of laggy, so you have to take it a little bit slow, otherwise it'll eat your inputs. And for some reason it's just that inventory. I don't know why. But every other menu is fine. And we don't get the cutscene, but Brad's dead. He's just been killed by this guy. His name's Nemi. Say hi to Nemi. And we're going to run away from him.
I mean, surely Brad's concern was legitimate then, right? You're like,
nah.
Doom and gloom. I mean, the guy just got.
I mean, he didn't even try to put up a fight. That's all I'm saying. He could have done it. He's a member of STARS. He would have been alright. So now we sort of brute force our way through this puzzle. And of course it's the the last combination I use. So we get the STARS office key, then we go upstairs. And we're coming up to the biggest RNG point in the whole game. So in this locker, in this room, can spawn one of two weapons, the grenade launcher or the magnum. If you get the magnum, you reset, because it's slow. If you get the grenade launcher, there we go, all good. Yeah, I wasn't going to reset if I got the magnum. I would do the magnum route, which is actually pretty fun if you know it, but it's just really risky and obviously slower. But we've got the grenade launcher, so that's optimal. And Nemi's back. He will just continue chasing us through the entire game. You can fight him and take him down, but if you do, it doesn't really matter. He'll just reappear later on. The only benefit to taking him down is he drops items. So you can get a couple of different weapon upgrades, but none that are really useful for speedrunning, so we don't do that. But there is a category called Nemesis % where you fight him every time. Which, I've got to learn how to do that one because it does look fun. So now that we've got the key to access the rest of the city, we're going to go... pretty much, she doesn't know where she's going at the moment. She's just wandering aimlessly. But we're going to meet up with Carlos, a Umbrella mercenary. And Jill obviously doesn't like him because Umbrella is the whole reason the zombie outbreak happened. But she has no choice but to team up with him. And there's a bit of running around here, so if there's any donations to be read out, now's a good time.
Thanks for that. Currently we have no donations, but I would just like to give a quick plug to some donation incentives that we have coming up. We have the Resident Evil 2 Hunk Run. That's at 59%. It still needs $120.69 to be met. And so that will close at the end of the following run, which is the Resident Evil 2 Leon A any percent run by Raj Chaz. And yeah, we are Oz Speedruns, a group who does speedrun events to raise money for charity. This event, we're raising money for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, who provide emergency medical and primary healthcare services to anyone who lives, works, or travels in rural and remote Australia. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. I'm going to post a link in the chat to that. And as I said before, we have a number of incentives that you can put your donation towards at no extra cost to you. Back to you, MangoPunch.
Perfect. So we've just met up with Carlos. Nemesis has found us again. So one thing that was added to this game that wasn't in previous games is the concept of live selection. So every now and then you'll get a little cutscene where something dangerous will happen and the game will freeze and it'll be like, okay, you've got two options. What do you do? Thankfully for speedrunning, the fastest option is always the first one. But whichever option you select, it actually changes the way the story plays out. So previously, in RE1 and 2, you'd have different scenarios depending on which character. So that would change the game depending on which one you do. But this one, there's only one scenario. It's just Jill. But it plays out differently every time, depending on what you select, which areas you go to first, which is a really nice sort of addition. So if I were to go the Magnum route, you would actually do things in a different order, so things play out differently as well. So that makes it a little bit different and adds a bit of replayability. But unfortunately, I mean, I need to stop bashing on the remake, but the remake didn't have that, and that made me disappointed. That's all I'm going to say on that. So now we've got the 2 jewels, we can access the rest of the city. Why the city was locked up. And require you to find different jewels to access the downtown area, I don't know, but that's how it is. Whoever built this city is kind of a sadist, I think. They just wanted to see everybody freak out and not be able to get to where they want to go. But Carlos has told us that there's a little safe spot at a tram stop, which we're going to head to. And we've got dogs here, that's good. So dogs or zombies can spawn here. Dogs are faster, but a little bit riskier. If you get zombies, you can just blow up those barrels and just kill them all. But, yeah, again, slower. Okay, so now we've made it to the tram. They've given us their plan. They're going to try and get the tram going again so we can get out of the city. But, of course, it's broken, so we need to find all the parts to get it going again. So we need to backtrack through the city. Oh, get off it. Yeah, the dogs are not behaving today. I forgot to give them their schmackos. So we have to find all the pieces to get the tram running. Backtracking through the city to access areas that we couldn't previously get to, but now that we have the wrench, we can get through. A bit of an RNG spot here. Hopefully I get a good thing. Oh, nice. Knocked them all down. But I got stuck on one of the corpses. That's great. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. So ideally you want to get... Yeah, shove them all over and then just run through. That didn't happen. Another heavy reset point there. But we're in caution now, but I'm not going to use my first aid spray until after I come back, because I have to go back through that area again. Have to go and get an item, go back to that statue, put the item in the statue, and then it'll turn around and give us a battery. Why there's a battery in the statue? Again, a lot of the planning in this place doesn't make any sense.
How else would it rotate to give you the battery if it didn't have a battery in it?
That's a good point. But why does it need to rotate if all you get is the battery?
That's it. That rotates to give you the battery. What do you mean?
Oh, that guy was not behaving. That guy just pukes. One thing as well is if you're on a different height to zombies, they won't try to grab you. They'll instead try to spew on you. So if you're on like a slope, and there's a bunch of zombies, you can usually just run right past them. As long as you don't run directly into their arms. So I was able to run past that guy on the stairs. Oh, this is going to be rough. And we're clear. We can use the first aid spray now. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, so that little shot that I fired there. A runner by the name of Pyramid K, who is the current world record holder, he discovered that just randomly, if you shoot that guy there, just one shot, it sometimes manipulates everybody into moving over to the side, which is really handy, but it doesn't happen all the time, unfortunately. But it is the most consistent way to get through there unscathed. Now we put the battery in here so we can get downstairs to the power station so that we can get the fuse, which is one of the items that we need to get the tram running. So that's a good example of what I was talking about with the the zombies in different levels. Big angry horde, but you can just run right by the side of them. So they're not all that scary. Now, if we got the Magnum, we could actually get the grenade launcher here. It's in the other room. But it takes a long time to get. And, ooh, I got the music skip. If you skip this cutscene at just the right time, it doesn't play the music. Which means that I can skip this door quickly. Just a quick little time save, but any time save is good time save, really. Yeah, so the PC version lets you skip door cutscenes, which is a huge thing in this game because there's a lot of them. But there's a bit of a catch. Some doors are slow skips, some of them are fast. The fast ones you can skip instantly, but the slow ones you have to wait for a certain frame, like that one there. There's like a bit of a pause, and then once it starts moving again, that's when you skip. The thing that determines whether it's a fast or slow one is whether or not the music changes between rooms. So because there was no music playing before in the power station, there was no change while going through the door, so that meant I could skip it quickly. So now we're heading back towards the start, but we're going to... Wait, I didn't get through. going to the pharmacy, we'll have another RNG segment. But there's a bit of a way to go before I get there, so if there's anything that needs to be plugged, now's a good time.
Nothing to be plugged at the moment.
No worries.
Yep, nothing to be plugged at the moment. Just, as I said before, we're on Speedruns. We're raising money for Royal Flying Doctor Service. They provide some excellent services. It's more than you'd think, really. They provide telehealth, mobile eye care, mobile patient care. They have a well-being service for mental health issues. They provide community transport. They have dental services, the Flying Doctor Dental. They help with rural women's services, mobile event care, speech therapy, and they even offer scholarships. We're very happy to be running for Royal Flying Doctor Service this event, and we hope you like them too, and give them a donation. Put the donation link in the chat.
Excellent.
And we still have some incentives coming up, and I've posted that too. So, thank you very much. Back to you, MangoPunch.
No worries. So we got lucky there. We got the first try on the code. There's 3 different codes for that that computer. There's Safsprin, Adravil, and Aquacure. You always go Safsprin first because it actually has the most likelihood of being the code. The least likely being Aquacure. I think it's like a 10% chance of being Aquacure. It's like super low, but sometimes you just get a bunch of runs, one after another, where you get nothing but that. I had an entire week of runs that was just like nothing but Aquacure. That was a bad time.
Which one's technically fastest?
Fastest, I think, is Adravil, but it's the second most likely, so... Yeah, you always go Safsprin first, unless you're feeling lucky and you just want to go a YOLO.
Feeling lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just got a donation in the last few seconds.
Fantastic.
That was $27.92 from Rad Chaz, who says,
Yo.
"Do us proud, Mango. Less than 3." Thank you very much, Rad Chaz.
Thanks, Chaz. Good mate of mine, another RE runner. Yeah, so there's not a lot to say about this part. So we've got most of the parts now. We just get a jumper lead from this car, because why not? And then we're going to make our way all the way back, and then make a pit stop at the gas station. And then we'll be able to get the tram running and head to the clock tower. Yeah, a lot of backtracking. It was a lot of fun, but thankfully... Oh, that's another thing I should mention. Every zombie in the game can go turbo. It's completely random, it's a low chance, but every one of them has a chance of doing it. So if they go turbo, they'll just like sprint at you, which makes dodging them a little bit difficult. But yeah, that guy there was usually a pretty easy dodge, but because he turboed, and I wasn't prepared for it, it sort of catches you off guard. So you got to be ready for anything. Alright, got a really tricky dodge coming up here. Hopefully I can get it. Oh, and that guy turboed too. I would have made it if it wasn't for that. Alright, so you just like make a quick dip into that little alcove there and then quick turn and then try to run around him. But yeah, the second guy didn't want to behave. And Jill doesn't like to use items unless she's facing directly into like what she needs to use it on. She won't acknowledge it's there unless her face is like right in the hole. But now that we've used the wrench that all we can get rid of it. So that frees up a bit of inventory. And we have the gas station puzzle, which really confused me when I first played this game, but... Oh. What have I done? Oh no! I was about to say, I can do it really well now. There we go. I got cocky. There we go. We'll just pretend that first one didn't happen. So basically, yeah, all you have to do is put out all the lights except for the one that's highlighted. But every button you press, it switches the one that you press and the two surrounding it. So once you like work out the logic, you can solve it really, really quickly. But that
What
one
do
was
you mean, Mango? That was first try. That was the first one.
of
What are you
course.
talking about?
That's, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ignore that first one. That was the first one.
And I forgot that guy was on the ground. But that's alright. Okay, so now we get to see an upcoming boss. We don't fight him yet, but it's the Gravedigger. Thankfully, all we have to do here is press a couple of switches and then get out of the sewer. If you do fight him here, he actually has less health later on when you have the proper boss fight. But again, it's slower. And hopefully this dog behaves. Oh, he didn't behave. Bad dog. Alright, put all the pieces in the thing. There we go. Now we get going, but again, Nemesis likes to chase us, and he's made his way onto the tram. But thankfully we don't have to fight him. We can just turn around and leave Mikhail to clean up the mess. So he blows himself up to save us, but he takes out the brakes. And now we have my favourite cutscene in the entire game. You can have a choice of either jump out the window or put on the brakes. Brakes are for losers.
It's useless.
No, instead we dive headfirst through a closed window. And she's wondering why her head hurts. But now we're at the clock tower, and we don't have any gunpowders there. You can have gunpowders spawn early or late. We got the late gunpowders. So it's going to be a little bit slower. But we need those gunpowders to create the grenade rounds that we need for the rest of the game. So if we had the early powders, we'd make freeze rounds. But Carlos is going to give us some freeze rounds, so instead we're going to make some flame rounds. But yeah, if you got early powders, your inventory would actually be full, so it skips that cutscene where it gives you the powders. Make our way here, get the key, and 2 red powders. And we don't need the yellows, because we only need to make flame rounds.
So you're saying red's faster color?
In this case, no. Yeah, ideally you want the early powders so that you can mix the red and the yellows, so you can make freeze rounds. Yeah, it's... I suck at explaining all the different, like, possible outcomes, but... yeah. If you get late powders, you go for the red. So this puzzle is the same every time. The solution is up, down, up, down, up. But depending on where the pegs start, it's a bit RNG. So that's a 1, 2, 3 change. So that's 1. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So this puzzle was actually completely randomized in the original version, but unfortunately, the way you solve it is by listening and finding all the off-key notes and then changing those. But people who are hard of hearing, unfortunately, couldn't do the puzzle. So instead, they made it so that it was just one solution, and you just find the solution on the back of a box somewhere, to make it a bit more accessible, which is always a good thing. But yeah, I think the original Japanese release, yeah, had the completely randomized version. And we're just going to push Nemi off the edge here. It's a bit of a pushover. Haha. Oh yeah, I should have warned people. Anybody who's arachnophobic, yes, there are giant spiders in this game. But I was a bit late for that, sorry. And there's more here. The spiders can poison you, which is never a good time. What time is it? That's 5 o'clock. So you have a brief second to see what the time on the clock is there. And that will tell you what the solution is. So we got 5 o'clock, which is amber. Obsidian. And crystal. Now, playing this game casually, I still have no clue how you're supposed to solve this logically. I think one of the paintings is like each of the gems has a different number value assigned to it. And you have to like add and subtract. I think one painting adds, one subtracts, and then one multiplies. And you've got to put them all in the right order to get the clock to 12 o'clock. But I still don't know how you're supposed to know what number is assigned to which one. Like, I've looked through the files, I've looked everywhere, but I still don't get it. And I made a mistake there. So you're supposed to combine the two cogs before you use it. If you accidentally don't combine them, it's a bit of a time loss. So now we've got the bell tower ringing, and that's going to signal the escape chopper.
Personally, I don't know, but perhaps it's like the other puzzles where you have to push a button before you know what the button does.
Yeah, true.
So maybe you have to put the gem in before you know what the gem does.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it doesn't give you any feedback as to what it does.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's just like, yeah, it's just wrong, doesn't work, try again. Okay, so...
No, you gotta read every single note.
Yeah.
Read every single note in the mansion.
So... yeah, that happened. No, it didn't. It didn't happen. Let's just reverse... Let's just reverse the time here. Everybody close your eyes. Count to 10. And... look at that. Can you hear the bell? We're back there again. Unfortunately, we do lose the costume because, yeah, I had the classic costume here. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen when I have the grenade launcher. I die a lot on the Magnum route because it is a lot more risky. But, yeah, that was unfortunate. Alright, I'm going to actually concentrate here, so that doesn't happen again. There we go. And nothing happened. Oh, that was unfortunate, but luckily I've learned my lesson. I have safety saves, so, you know.
Such is life.
Yes.
Such is life.
Yep. So now we're playing as Carlos for a bit. And while this is going on, this is actually when Resident Evil 2 happens. So it's the next day. And Carlos has decided... oh yeah, by the way, Nemesis infected Jill with the virus. So she's out of action. And Carlos has decided, yeah, I'm just gonna head to the hospital. I've taken some chemistry in high school. I know how to synthesize a vaccine for a zombie virus. And yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
He's smarter than he looks.
Yeah. He's read a few books. But yeah, now is a good time for any plugs or anything like that? Donations?
Nothing at the moment. So get your donations in at donate.ozspeedruns.com. I'll put a link in the chat. We have some incentives coming up. Give them a squiz, see if there's anything you like. I particularly think the glitch exhibition for Simpsons Hit and Run is going to be excellent, so get that going. And yeah, Back to you,
Alrighty.
MangoPunch.
No worries. Alright, now there is a bit of RNG in this section as well. So you have to go up and down a few different floors. And one of those floors will have a big horde of zombies. We don't want them to be on the top floor, which is where we're going now. And they're there. Okay. Of course. So that's the bad RNG. It just means that maneuvering around those corridors are going to be a bit more difficult. But I think I remember how to dodge them. I haven't had top floor zombies in a long time. Alright, good so far. Dip our way into here just to have a quick look at where the cabinet is. And that will give us the solution to this puzzle here. So you push the cabinet to the opposite side of where it is in the other room. And each corner is assigned to a different code for the safe. If you see the cabinet, you just quickly turn around and run away. If you don't see the cabinet, you have a look at the corpse, and that will tell you the code for the safe. And the code will let you know which corner you need to put it into. So yeah, each corner is assigned to a different code. Yeah. I always suck at explaining. Ah, and he went turbo. Alright, hopefully these guys don't troll me. No, don't chase me, don't chase me. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of meta knowledge that goes on with that cabinet.
Yeah.
It looks so simple.
Yeah.
For the general viewer.
Yeah, so you have like a split second. Because if you're too slow, those worms will latch onto you. Which is never good. Yeah, another thing with those zombies there as well. If they get too close to the elevator door, you can't shut the door, so you have to pull out your assault rifle and kill them all. But we got lucky. They didn't chase us too much. And this one here is like one of the only puzzles that are actually the same solution every time. It's just valve 1, valve 3, and then valve A. Now we've got these little froggy boys that show up here. That they're a bit nasty if you're in caution. They can pretty much swallow you whole. I think that's one thing that the remake did really well, is those Gamma Hunters. They are absolutely terrifying in the remake. Alright, so now we have the two parts to the vaccine. We're going to head back to Jill. Hopefully she's still alive. But, oh no, what's that? Something's a-rumbling. Oh, don't you do it? Ooh, those guys can be a bit of a jerk sometimes. And Nemi's back, and he's taken his shirt off. So now he means business. He's grown a few tentacles as well. But we can just run right past him. Alright, now Jill is A-OK. And we swap out
Let me know when you have a minute.
Yep, sure. So we swap out the reloading tool for the knife there, because we need the knife for one of the boss fights. But yeah, I'll explain that when I get to it. Yeah, now's a good time.
Right, so you might have noticed that I hadn't been plugging the donation incentive for Resident Evil 2, and the reason is that the Speedrun organizers, so this is the message from the Speedrun organizers. They say, hey there, Speedrun organizers here. Unfortunately, we'll need to be replacing the RE2 run from Radchaz due to technical issues faced. We are understanding of the nature of technology, but the show must go on. In its place, Aeon Frodo is going to be doing a quick run of Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected any % casual, which will take us through to Futurama. Apologies to anyone looking forward to RE2 and looking forward to seeing Raz at a future event. As a side note, anyone who donated to the Hunk incentive, please get in touch with the host in some manner to have your donation reallocated at your leisure. So yeah, very sad to see that happen.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to Rad Chaz, but that's just what happens.
Yep.
It happens.
Technical issues. Yeah, he told me earlier that he was having some issues, so I stayed hopeful, but unfortunately things happen. So it's a shame, but Aeon Frodo is a fantastic runner. You're going to get a good replacement. So yeah.
Yeah, she was playing a bunch of Xenoblade Chronicles recently, so we should be in tune for a good, good run.
It'll be a good time either way. So now we've... Hang on. What was the last thing I explained? I don't remember. We've made our way to the park.
The last I remember was you talking about the fact that Jill is now cured. That's
yes.
the last
Yep.
time I got.
Alright, so she's made her way to the park, and we're about to come up to the second encounter with the worm. It can be a bit rough, depending on whether or not he wants to behave, but I believe one of the good things about... Oh no. Okay. I've messed up the order here. So because of the safety save, I actually had a first aid spray, which has messed up my inventory just slightly. So I have to do these things in a little bit of a different order. But the good news is we have a first aid spray, so if things go wrong, I don't have to load another save again. Alright, so we grab these powders, which we then use to make acid rounds, which just absolutely demolish the worm. But there's one thing you can do with the grenade launcher, which lets you kill it in one cycle. But it is very tough because you have to get what's called quick shooting. All the classic Resident Evil games have it in some way. Where if you mash the aim key as you're firing, you'll actually fire twice as fast. Right, I'm going to concentrate here. No, I dropped one. Yeah, so if you hit every single quick shot, you'll actually kill him before he goes into the ground there. Oh, ouch. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, okay. He trolled me a bit there. He's like, I'm done. Actually, no. One more bite. And I believe... Okay, 2 shots. I thought he was 1 shot away, but I must have wasted a round somewhere. That's a bit weird. Oh well, we've got more than enough ammo to finish off Final Nemi.
Now you say mash, but it has to be timed, doesn't it? That's
yeah, it has to be timed at just the right frame. Yeah, but it's just easier on the keyboard to mash.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but if you're using a controller, then you just have to like, yeah, time your tap to be exactly the right frame. Yeah, which is very, very difficult. I could do it on RE2 for a while, but I've kind of lost my timing now. So, yeah, mashing is a lot simpler. Alright, hopefully these guys don't troll me. That's good. And we got dogs in the park, which is also good. So you can get dogs or hunters in here. If you get hunters... Hunters are kind of... yeah, you don't want hunters anywhere, because they have a insta-kill attack. If you're within caution, which is under half your health, yeah, they will just one-hit kill you. Even if they start their attack, and then you refill back up to full health, they will still kill you in 1 shot. Doesn't matter how much health you have. So once you hear that roar, just, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Alright, so now we've made our way to some kind of factory. Don't know exactly what kind of factory it is. I think it's a water treatment plant. And I'm going to try and find a helicopter to escape in. And that's supposed to be a puzzle where you like go around pressing all the switches in just the right order. to turn off all the steam so you can reach the console. But if you just run into the steam, you can actually hit the trigger. Ain't no steam gonna stop me. Alright, making our way downstairs, and again, hopefully we don't get hunters. Okay, no hunters in here. Oh wait, actually yes, hunters in here. And we got hunters here too. Oh no, this is not good. No, no. Oh, okay, that was very lucky, because if they surround you like that, they will just like start slashing you one at a time and stun lock you until you get into caution, and then one of them will just do the insta-kill attack. But I got very lucky there that I managed to escape, so I'll take it. So that's medium low. Left 1, left 3, right 4. This is the only puzzle that I still need the cheat sheet for. Because it just... it's not a good puzzle. I don't like it. Wait, what was it? Right 3. Alright, hopefully I didn't mess that up. Okay, we're good. Yeah, memorized all the other puzzles, not this one. Every time I think I've memorized it, I mess it up. Okay, so we've done something which lets us access the trash disposal room. Oop. Where we will fight the waste disposal Nemi. Alright, thankfully the return trip here is a lot easier, because you manipulate that one guy into jumping over you. Don't troll me. Alright, good. Okay, so, waste disposal Nemi. This is the one that we use the knife for, because there are a bunch of valves littered around the arena, and we need to hit them one at a time and lure Nemesis into the acid that spurts out. And the best way to do that is with a knife. The problem is, the timing is absolutely precise. You have to wait for certain sound cues. So the first cue is his second footstep. You hit the valve. The second cue is when he says stars, hit the valve. And then the third one is tricky because you have to sort of pay attention to what he's doing and react accordingly. And sometimes the valves can be a little bit RNG. Sometimes they can spew out too quickly or too slow, and then it won't hit him. So we just got to cross our fingers and hope that everything goes well here. Alright, so... there's one. Oh, I thought that wasn't going to get him. Come on, come on. Come and get me. Oh, what is he doing? Okay, now we got to improvise. Come on, come on. Come on. Oh, Nemi, please. Oh, this isn't good. It's alright, we can recover. Come on, chase me. Worth noting at this point, he doesn't have a head anymore, so he can't actually see. So I've got to actually, like, make noise to get him to follow me. Oh, come on. Oh, that just got him. Okay. We're good, we're good. Everything's okay. A couple of years ago at GDQ, there was a race between Soup and Wusscake, two of the top runners of this game. And it was like neck and neck through the entire run. But Wusscake died on this fight just because he got really bad RNG. Oh, that's the wrong key.
It was incredible, really, as to how a run that is so luck heavy was so neck and neck.
Yeah, that was so
that
close.
advantage.
Like
And
one
then,
of them
yep,
would get what? Yeah, one of them got bad RNG early on, so they were like apart, and then the other one got bad RNG later, so they caught up again. And, oh, it was just, yeah, it was crazy. Oh, this isn't good. All right, so there's a specific line there you can take where you don't get bitten by the zombies, but it's kind of tricky. I got caught on the wall there, so I messed up big time. These guys you can just run past. And I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to grab the safety first aid spray here. Judging by the way things have been going, I think I'm going to need it. And we are on our way to... Of course he would turbo at me. So on our way to the final boss fight. Thankfully this one is pretty simple to do. So what we've got to do is lure Nemi into the firing line of this massive rail cannon that's just sitting here. But we have to reduce his hit points to below 200 first. Otherwise, it'll take a few shots to actually kill him. But if we damage him enough, it'll take one shot. If we don't damage him enough, it'll... I think it's like a 15-second charge time between shots. But the good news is, if you mess up, it's just a time loss. It's not any more dangerous, thankfully. So yeah, hopefully it all goes well. And yeah, he's going to mutate one more time into this horrifying thing. I've got to push all the batteries in so that the rail cannon can power up. Alright, so the rail cannon's going to fire one shot first. That will always hit the rubble behind Nemi. It will never actually hit him directly. But then the next shot after that will kill him. Hopefully. Assuming I don't mess it up. Oop. Oh, need that first aid spray. Okay, hopefully that's done enough damage. Sometimes those acid rounds can get caught on an invisible wall. It kind of like juts out a little bit around the rubble. But you don't really notice until until the rail cannon hits him, and then nothing happens. So hopefully everything's going well. Oh, okay. I didn't do enough damage to him. Alright, this one should do it. So when he's below 200 HP, he'll actually wander over to that corpse to try and eat it, to heal up. But that puts him right in the firing line of the cannon. Alright, so he's dead. Or is he? So we're going to have one final live option here. The correct option is the second one, which is just escape. But because it's a marathon and everybody loves this cutscene, we're going to pick the first option. Because Jill's going to go Dirty Harry on him.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
And now he's dead. All right, now we just got to head out the door. Go down the elevator. Don't trip over on the way, and then we're done. So time is coming up right now. All right, that's it. Thanks,
Well
mate.
done. Well done. That was 49 minutes and 33 seconds.
Fantastic.
All right. Do you have any quick plugs or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Oh, not that I can think of. Shout out to the Speedruns community. Thank you again for having me along. It's always an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Jesse, for hosting. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you, everybody who donated to such a fantastic cause. And keep those donations coming. And enjoy the rest of the marathon. Because, yeah, it's a good time. Enjoy it.
I agree.